the ones. So all of these different ones that I highlighted. The people that came up to ask me questions yesterday, I definitely made sure to let them know that. But if you are factoring things out and you factor the entire thing, then you have to make sure to leave a 1. So I totally get why some people would leave it blank, but if you factor out the entire thing, you have to leave a 1. And when we get to the next portion, I'll kind of show you why. It doesn't really click with the method I showed you to factor. So if something completely is gone, leave a 1. The next thing that I didn't tell you about is the negative symbol. If there is a negative symbol first, maybe you should put this in your notes rather than on your homework, because maybe you would lose it. Put it on the page that we did the problems yesterday. There should be a lot of open space because we only did 2 or 3 of them. So if there is a negative symbol, on the first term, factor the negative. This is going to be a lot of words, but not actually doing much. Now, why don't I have you guys put an example? I drew an arrow to an example that you should probably write with your note. Because like this is going to be something that you're going to want to put on your cheat sheet probably. I know it's a lot of words, but it's not a very easy way to say it short, in a shorter way. So once you finish writing that middle portion, put example number 9 down with it. Like put the original problem and then put the answer. Do you need a pencil or you plug it in or something? Yeah. Okay. And again, this isn't hard to do, but I didn't want to add it on top of everything that you were trying to learn yesterday. What I didn't realize is how many of the first 10 problems would have a negative symbol on the first term. I got 2 more sitting in the closet, so it was $4 for 4 of them. Okay. If I point, let me go over number 4 with you. So number 4, the first term is a negative 3n. So the first term has a negative symbol on it. For whatever reason, it's considered more correct that when you factor it, the first term should be positive. And, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, but that's usually how you always see it on standardized tests, how you always see it. Can we not write on the desk? It's how you'll see it on standardized tests. It's how you'll see it on multiple choice answers. back of the, answers in the back of the book. It's just how it's done. So when I'm factoring out numbers, I would factor out a 3 because 3 goes into both of those. Jack, come sit up here. I would factor out a 3 because 3 goes into both of them. I would factor out an n because they both have a single n. And your answer that you had written down was probably 3n times -1 plus 3n squared. Or excuse me, -1 minus 3n squared. If you take out the negative symbol on the first term, like I did right here, then all of the answers on the inside would be opposite. This was negative, I make it positive. This was a minus, I make it a plus. So taking a negative sign out means that you swap all of the signs. And that's what I did. I think there were 6 of them, yeah. 6 of the first 10 actually had a negative symbol on the first number, which I wasn't expecting that many. I was expecting 1 or 2. And so you guys absolutely can just fix your answers because the goal of these first 10 was to get you ready for the bottom ones because they have a lot more stuff, a lot more things, and I thought this was a good way to practice it. So, first thing you look for is you look to see if there's any number that goes into all of them. Go ahead. I understand. I thought I told you guys yesterday that what I was planning on doing was trying to get them graded while you were working today. So, first thing you look for on number 4 is you would check to see what number goes into both. Now, if you guys do that with the factor tree, that's fine. If you do it just by looking at it, that's fine. My guess is you'll get good enough at these after a little while that you just know the answers. And then you look at the letters. There's 1 n on the first term, there's 3 n's on the second term. So then in your head, you know they both have at least 1. So I factor an n out front. And then the negative sign because the first term was negative. Now, do you guys want me to do, like, say, number 11 with you to kind of refresh you from what we did yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay? Does everybody have all, whatever they need written down? Because I'll scroll down. I saved it, so. Okay? So number 11. We've got a 4, a 5, and a 5. Is there any numbers that go into all 3 of those? Right, 1 is the only number that goes into all 3 of them. 2 does not go into 5. Like if you decided to make a factor tree, you would find out that they had no numbers in common. So then we move on to letters. Since they have no numbers in common, I move on to letters. Do all 3 terms have any of the same letters? N. Okay, they all have an N. Then we're going to decide how many N's they all have. 3. And this is where I think you guys will start getting a lot faster at these as you know what to look for. So they all have 3 N's out front. I'm going to put N3. Juliana, do I need to put a negative out front? No, because the first term, the 4, wasn't negative. That's the only thing that decides that. Okay, so since this is the only thing in common, I'm going to write a parentheses now and write everything that would be left over. We didn't do anything with the 4. How many N's would be left? 5. We had 8. We took 3 away. We have 5 left. Keep the minus. Keep the 5. We had N5. Now we're going to have N2. Because we had 5. We took 3 of them out. That M we didn't do anything with, so it would stay. The last term The 5 stays because we didn't take any numbers out. And then there wouldn't be any letters left because we had 3 and we took all 3 away. So then that would be factored. I want to do one with a number to show you how to do it without writing the trees. So maybe let's go to 19. Let's do 19 together. I wanted to pick that one because it's got a negative on the front. Okay, I've got 16. I've got 14. I've got 12. So here's the trick that you do, is you pick the smallest one of the numbers, because that's the one that's going to have the least things going into it. And I'm going to focus on the 12. What numbers go into 12? 6 is one of them. 2 is another one, so 6 to, come on. Hold on. Why is it not ready? Oh, there's like a dead spot. Weird. Okay, we've got 6 and 2. Are there any other numbers that go into 12? 1. We don't have to write 1. 1 is correct. Somebody said 3. And then 4, because 3 times 4. Okay. And honestly, I can write 1 and 12. Now, do any of these numbers go into 14 and 16? Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2. I thought you were raising your hand. 2 is the only one that goes into 14 and 16. So 2 is going to be the number we factor out. So I'm going to write a 2 out front. Where's your worksheets? My fault. I apologize. What do you guys just been writing it on paper somewhere? Okay. I forgot, that's right. In my head, I keep thinking it's printed because I printed it, but it didn't print. Okay, so we take the 2 out. Then I will look at letters. X's, do they all have an X? On number 19. Should I move this up? Do they all have an X? Yes. Okay, now I need to figure out how many they all have. Oh, actually that one only has 1, so, and that one only has 1, so we can only take 1 out. Do they all have a Y? No. Okay, now the last thing is that 16 has a negative symbol on it, so I'm going to take a negative out. Okay, now those are all the things that were in common. I look at the numbers, I look at the letters, I look at the negative symbols. Okay, how do I decide what number to write next? This is how you do it without the trees. And if you like using the tree method, keep doing it. I would divide. So I am dividing by -2. That's how I would know what number would be left. So -16 divided by -2 would be +8. I took away 1x, that would be gone. Y2 stays. -14 divided by -2 would be +7. I took away 1x, so that would just be x to the first. 12 divided by -2 would be -6. I took away 1x, I still have a y. And then that would be the factored form. Now, this method is how you do it. This method is how you do it without writing the trees, without writing a lot of stuff down. Some people have a really hard time doing that method. Some people prefer that method because it's easier for them to do lots of the work in their head. I don't care which method you guys use, I just wanted to make sure to show it to you. Obviously, this one's quicker if you can do it, but if you can't do it, it's kind of worthless because you get them all wrong. So you pick whichever method works for you. Okay, now your goal, you get the rest of today for sure. My guess is I will need to give you probably half the hour tomorrow. The goal is to finish this worksheet. And I believe it goes to like 30, right? Oh, you don't have it in front of you, dang it. 30. So you have 20 questions left, except for we just did 2, so you have 18 questions left. If you get it done a lot quicker than others, that's great. You can certainly help them if you want to, or you can work on other work. I don't want to see your phone. I get that you need your Chromebooks, because the worksheet's on there. Would you prefer me to try printing the sheets again, see if they actually print today? Because I could do that. I suppose worst case scenario, I could print them on my printer. You know what, I'll do that, because I know that one works. But I just have to pay for it.